Hey guys, back here again, and today we're here with the debut project from the dirty boy Sheck Wes with MUDBOY. Sheck Wes found his footing in the hip-hop scene with his single Mo Bamba that actually came out over a year ago, which many people might not know considering it's only really gaining traction now. And with support from people like Travis Scott, among many other big people in the industry and outside of the industry like Mo Bamba himself, it seemed inevitable that eventually he was gonna release something that was going to blow up. Mo Bamba, the lead single, definitely set the tone for what was to come with the album, with the really grimy trap production and the improvised vocalizing on it. It definitely took what MUDBOY is. You see the name in the cover, and it really applied that to every single song on the track, really all having this kind of grimy, dirty feeling to it. And there really isn't something that he really nailed on this project either, with many songs just only having specific spots that are really impressive. Like, for example, just off the start, the starting track, Mindfucker, the production on it is actually very interesting and creative and original, but it does, the first half of the song is just the beat, which is kind of cool, but at the same time it does lack some rap or vocalizing or anything, and so which is a little bit of a letdown, along with the rapping on it is pretty good, but it's not fantastic, and there's not anything real catchy about it, and kind of every track like this kind of follows with the same theme. Burn Slow is another prime example of this, which, as it's the only song on the album that has any sort of a good chorus, and outside of that, though, it's not really that interesting, with a pretty basic trap production. The Never Lost gleams through with a really simple but effective trap beat that really kind of just does the work for itself, and then just allows Sheck Wes to kind of just riff on it, even though it doesn't really sound that great for him. The beat still makes the song kind of attractive, and the list goes on like this with tracks that really just aren't consistent in any way, with every single song having their own thing that sounds good. And honestly, I almost kind of wanted to name this as a good thing for the album, for the messiness and dirtiness and unorganization, but really a bad aspect to an album is still a bad aspect in the end, and I can't really say something is good because it's bad. And there is one golden moment on this album where I feel most things do come together, and it's the song Fuck Everybody. Although it does sound somewhat eerily close to the XXXTentacion track Look at Me, with a similar synth and also a similar melody, and Sheck Wes is kind of yelling on the track as well with a very kind of catchy hook. It does sound kind of oddly close to the song, but isn't quite an exact match. But to distance itself a little bit from it, it does have a kind of scattered, interesting mix that forests itself into the ambiance with this xylophone that is found here and there throughout the track. And the yelling, like I said, does sound a lot like X2, but it also does sound pretty good on the track and kind of does bring up some bright spots, especially during the chorus when he really gets going on it. But then stepping back though and looking at the vocals on the rest of the project, that's really the main issue, as there's not really any other golden moment or prime moment where his vocals actually sound good, and his singing on it, which is far too often on it, really just lacks in so many aspects, with no auto-tune being found almost anywhere on the project. I rarely harp on somebody for not using auto-tune enough, but this would be an example where, especially being somebody that's so close to Travis Scott, where the auto-tune could come in handy. His voice is not made out for the amount of singing he does, where it just sounds out of tune and wrong at points. And although maybe he's just going off the success that Mo Bamba had, and how the no auto-tune on it kind of makes it have that special feel that I think a lot of people do like about it, I feel he had a hard time remaking and capturing that nuance that song had. But songs like WESPN, Kyrie, Jiggy on the Shits, and Danimals all have just vocal parts that I found it hard to get through. MUDBOY definitely has a tone and a feel that was executed amazingly well. However, this doesn't really make the album better. It's just nice to see that he's able to capture it, but not really thrive in the product itself. Due to poor vocals and unorganized song creation, it makes a lot of the tracks, other than a special few, sound very kind of made lazily. So in the end, I'm going to give this album a 4. So let me know what you guys thought of the album, and what I should review next. You should also like comment about other stuff if you want, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and yeah, so I'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.